yourself, everybody.
This is Life's a Pitch TV. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, all about hearing. The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Sound 4 Pro Audio, Come Hither Design, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year, Cancer Support Suffolk, Forget Me Not Golf, and Combat to Coffee. You're in fine voice considering the last two games. Well done, well done. Welcome to the TBS Tech Arena for a third season of Life's Pitch TV. I'm your host, Mark Murphy. Welcome to the show, wherever you're watching or listening across Suffolk or around the world. The place is just like Club Tropicana tonight because, what is it, everybody? Drinks are free! So if you want to be part of the capacity crowd, go to www.lifesapitch.tv and click on capacity crowd, and you too can have free beer and snacks, especially sausage rolls and lovely cakes that are baked from our audience. Let me introduce you to the team. Terry Butcher! Russell Osman! And in the Sound 4 Pro Audio production suite, we have on technicals Richard Garrett and John Parker. And our four managers are Leslie Dolphin and Sarah Jane. And you are our capacity crowd. Nice to see you coming back from Birmingham and Bromley in fine voice. We've got the Churchman stand sponsored by John Keeble Cars. And we've got the North stand sponsored by Ashford Wright. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to smash that subscribe and like button, please, or those buttons, and it does help us provide free alcohol for the crowd. So please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. We're also wherever you get your podcasts from and on Suffolk Sound on a Saturday lunchtime at midday. So if you want tickets for the show, head to our website, www.lifesapitch.tv. Boys, we need a special guest, don't we? We do. Would you please, everybody, welcome former Town defender and now Braintree defender, Tommy Smith!
Love it. Thank you.
What a welcome, my friend. What a welcome.
Yeah, I do miss that chant, got to be honest. Yeah.
Well, it does go on a bit, doesn't it? It goes, there's various... On Dan, what was the rest of it? Number 2, Tommy Smith. Number 3, Tommy Smith. Number 4... Enough!
All right. Mark, was that when the crowd didn't have much to sing about on the pitch? No.
Those were the days,
yeah,
eh?
Choose
Those
your number.
Were the days. Really good to see you. You're looking very well. All okay?
Thank you very much. Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure. Looking forward to you having a go at the golfing challenge a little bit later on.
You stitched me up there, though.
Well, last week we did it for the first time, and Walkie hadn't got his glasses, had he, last week? So there was a ball that went over there and one that went over there, but he did manage to get one in the 75 hole without his glasses. But we've only got this week. Last week we had a left-handed and right-handed putter. This week you discovered we've only got a
right-handed putter.
And you are?
Left-handed.
Okay.
I think Walkie had the same sort of problem last week, didn't he? I think he used the wrong putter.
Possibly.
Yes. He missed the ball once, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So 75 to beat Tommy later on. And you are a keen golfer, aren't you?
I am, yeah, but...
he's deadly.
Yeah, putting's not my strong suit, especially right-handed, but we'll give it a go.
You never know, Tom.
You never know. I might become a right-handed putter tonight.
Yeah, this could be the start of something very special for you. You never know. But welcome to the show. We'll talk about Braintree, where you're going to be this season, and your career at Ipswich Town and everything as the evening goes on. But we do need to talk about Ipswich Town at the moment, and particularly need to talk about what's happening with Omari Hutchinson, Terry Butcher.
Who? Who's he?
Yeah. I mean,
Mark,
these things happen all the time at clubs, don't they, Ross?
I'm not in a place to talk about that at the moment. I'm not mentally.
No, I'm not mentally right. Yeah, in the right place. Yeah.
So I can't contribute to this, Mark.
Okay, that's fair comment. That's
I
fair
can.
comment. Yeah, you can. Go on then.
And I will.
What's going on then?
Well, if I was the manager now, I would say you train on your own, and you've got 4 years of your contract left. So, all the very best. Enjoy it. We'll meet something in 4 years' time. So there we are. I think he's a good player. The one thing that strikes me, he played in the Premier League for a year last year, and wasn't very good. So if he thinks he's a top Premier League player, then
Yeah, didn't contribute last year at all.
he didn't hardly contribute. I mean, I
Must have been
know
in a
clubs
bad
have
place.
put bids in because of the potential. I fully understand that.
Had a good Euros though, didn't he?
He had a very good Euro, scored in the final. Yeah, they
Go
won
and
it.
play in a team of 21-year-olds.
Yeah, so it's a lot different to the
That's your
Premier
level.
League. A lot different to the Premier League. So if he thinks he's worth it, then see what happens. But he's gonna if he doesn't get sold, he's going to face the possibility of then having to grovel or having to say sorry because the fans will want him to say sorry because no one turns down the chance to play for Ipswich Town Football Club. So he's got to. There's a crisis coming up if he doesn't go that he's got to meet head on. So that's why the ball's really very much in Town's court. Although we are losing a very good player, and we saw what happened in the Championship. He was excellent. He was really, really good. So he's a really good Championship player, but a poor Premier League player at the moment. So there we are. It's up to you, Amari, at the end of the day. And I wouldn't be bothered about it because in the end you don't want him around the dressing room a lot because he's. The players look at him. I mean, what would you say, Tommy? You look at a player who says, he doesn't want to play for the club and, he wants to get away and he's not mentally right and all that stuff. What would you say?
Yeah, obviously, you only want the players around you that are willing to give everything for the shirt. And if he's not willing to do that, it obviously puts the team in a very difficult position from a culture point of view. You need everyone pulling in the same direction. And like you say, the only real way back from that now is to apologise, and it probably takes a little bit more than apologise, and he has to come in and then make a massive contribution.
Good, yeah.
And he's sort of made a rod for his own back a little bit. But like you say, it's a tricky one because he's a very good player. He has been a good player, but he does need to understand that he has to buy into the team ethos, and if he's not going to do that, then like you say quite rightly, you just move him to one side.
Yeah. Russ, what would you say?
Well, I agree completely with what the two of you have said, but I would just distance myself from him as much as possible. As if I was in the same team as him and showing that sort of attitude, you'd be very disappointed. If you did that in our day, mind you, one or two of the lads would have you up by your throat in the changing room and saw you out as well.
I think we'd wipe him out, wouldn't we? That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah, and we sort of looked at that.
Changed a bit now, Tommy, hasn't it?
Can't quite do that now, Terry, but you can give it a go.
It'd be worth it, though. I mean, I'd love that. Yeah, I love that.
What we have seen though in the two promotions that we had, Tommy, we saw it, and you know what it's like when you have a team that is really gelling. And the last two times we went up from Division 1, from Championship to Premier League, there was a real team spirit amongst those players, wasn't there? You felt that it was as one. And when the substitutes came on, everybody was happy to swap and change. They all felt as if they knew what they were doing, and it was part and parcel. Halfway through that Premier League, we seem to have lost that, and I don't think we've recaptured it yet.
Mark, Amari Hutchinson got a Man of the Match award that was presented to him in the Bobby Robson suite after one game, and I just happened to be up there as he came in to get his award. And he swaggered up a little bit, and I thought, he's got a bit of edge to him, and I think this was when he was first on loan at the club, and he gave a couple of decent performances then. And so everybody's, bated breath, waiting to see what he's going to say in this little interview that he's going to have. And the question was, do you think you'll be with us next season? And his response was, well, my agent will see what the best move is for me. And that was 18 months ago. And that sent alarm bells ringing in my head.
I mean, they have a big part to play, these agents now, Tommy, don't they?
Yeah, if you let them. Obviously it's the player's decision at the end of the day how he wants his career to progress. But if you rely on an agent, they not all agents, but the majority of agents are in it to earn themselves money, and sometimes at the detriment to that player's actual career. So I hope he's got an agent that he trusts, and if he's been in his ear, it can turn his head. But hopefully he's got people around him that make him see sense as well and keep him on the right track.
Tommy, have you got an agent?
I do. He's an actual friend rather than an agent now, though. He sort of does the contracts for me, but I sort of speak to the clubs myself in the past few deals I've done. Yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, I had an agent at the end of my career, and I didn't have him for long. His name was Johnny Mack, and
the notorious Johnny Mack.
Johnny Mack. They used to call him Mac the Knife, and I had about a kitchen set of knives in my back. He just stabbed me to death with my pensions and everything else. So you can stick agents as far away from me as you possibly can. Because
Glad I brought it up now.
I've got a new set of kitchen knives at home as well, so I'll be looking forward to seeing him again. I never did see him after that. But there's a reason why I never saw him. Probably.
Yeah, never had one myself. So if anybody wants to be my agent for the rest of the season, might not be needing one now.
We're all available. We're all available.
Yeah.
So Mari felt that he couldn't contribute to the game on Friday or last night. Whether he would have made a difference or not, who knows? But we have managed, courtesy of Town TV, to get the highlights from the Birmingham game. And so every week on the show, Town TV are going to be providing us with the match highlights. So let's take a look and see what happened last Friday at Birmingham.
Yeah, don't blink.
Well, as the players walk out of the tunnel, a very warm welcome to you all. A welcome to St Andrews, as two teams who weren't competing in this division last season get the new championship campaign up and running. Whilst Ipswich ultimately failed to survive in the Premier League, Kieran McKenna's men have now tasted football against the elite. And make no mistake about it, there is a real hunger and desire to return to the top tier of the English game as quickly as possible. Scored 15 goals for Sunderland, as Greaves is put under pressure by Kyogo, and Kyogo has lifted it into the back of the net, but the whistle is blown, looping that ball back to Christoph Clara. And that's given away here, and this is an opportunity for Schmodix, and it's wide. Opportunity gifted to Sam Schmodix. Jacob Greaves plays that back to Alex Palmer.
Hopefully I'm back, Glenn. Yes, it's working. New mic. Oh, a chance.
Birmingham might have a chance. It's Kyogo, and it's off the post, and it might drop for Stansfield, and Stansfield hammers it into the roof of the net. Birmingham take the lead. Young. The delivery is a deep one towards the back post, and it is handball and the penalty. The ball was a deep one towards the back post. I think it was Jacob Greaves who won the header. There was a collection of Ipswich players at that back post, and there was definitely a high arm. Hurst against Allsop. George Hurst steadying himself. Deep intake of breath. It's Hurst. It's in the back of the net. George Hurst draws Ipswich level. He scored on the opening day against Sunderland, the last time Ipswich were in the Championship, and he scored on the opening day here tonight from the penalty spot. Birmingham City 1, Ipswich Town 1 with the throw, and then Hurst is put in a headlock by Neumann, but instead of a free kick, Andrew Kitchen just decides to end the game, and Ipswich have somehow escaped from St Andrews with a point.
So there we are. That's how it ended 1-1. Thanks to Town TV for supplying the highlights for us. I've got three central defenders here. Would you three like to be in a back three together?
Yeah, I love it. I would. Yeah.
Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy. I wouldn't have to do anything with these two alongside me.
I'd want to go on the left though, Tom.
No
was it a
chance of
penalty or not, Butch?
I didn't think it was. Because if you are jumping, you have to have your hands take you up as you elevate. So the ball came in, and the Birmingham defender went up. And as he's gone up, his hands obviously high, and then he's looked to see where the ball has gone because it's over his head, and Greaves puts the header back across. But you don't, as you jump, you don't then bring your arms down. Your hands generally stay there because it's what happened.
Yeah.
And the ball has been headed against his hand. I mean, it's obviously not intentional, but these people say it was an unnatural position. I think it was in a natural position.
It was in front of his face, his hand, by the time the ball hit his hand.
Yeah.
I think he got a bit of contact as well, so that again puts his arm in another different position.
Your arms are automatically up.
If that's given against me, I'm raging.
If I jump up early above you, I can't get my arms down because your body's in the way for me to bring my arms down anyway. So if you're up early, you're hanging a little bit. You can't get your arms down because your opponent's stopping you doing that. So
lucky to get it. Defenders might come up with that answer.
Lucky to get it.
Well, I mean, it's just great because we got it and we scored from it and we got a point from the game, which we probably shouldn't have done. So you take that and then get on with it. But I mean, nobody really understands the handball rule now. There was an incident in the Charity Shield, I think, with McAllister, where he's unintentionally touched the ball with his hand, and it was in a little bit of a high position, but that wasn't given on VAR. So it would be interesting for that to go to VAR and see how, see what the result is.
You're not asking for VAR, Terry, are you?
No, I'm just saying it would be interesting. I mean, VAR is far from interesting. It's absolute rubbish. But I mean, it's nice. It's not in the Premier League. So if it's given, then you have to get on with it. And I think that's how we all played. And I think that a lot of the fans would like to see VAR gone because it is a nuisance and it's controversial and it doesn't always work.
You might have to go back to handball just being if there's any contact made with your hand in the 18-yard box, that's handball, that's a penalty.
Yeah, but then you'll get the clever players that are just flicking it into hands on purpose, and it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
But then you'll have defenders go out and then put their arms behind their back and all that.
Well, then you're unbalanced and you get beaten.
Absolutely,
anyway.
I would never tell my players to do that. You would never tell your players to do that. No,
just got to referee better.
Did you watch the game, Tommy?
I did. Yeah.
What was your assessment? Because it seemed pretty lacklustre.
Yeah, it was a slow start, but again, you're going to have a little bit of a hangover from last season, which obviously going to need to try and get over as quickly as possible. And obviously a bit of a shorter off season as well, with the length of the Premier League season goes into obviously the end of May. So I don't think it's time to sort of lose all faith just yet. There's probably still movements, incomings, outgoings to go on before the end of the window. So I'm sure things will get better. Tricky start, obviously, including last night as well, but a long way to go yet.
Tommy, you talk about a hangover. Me and Russell watched the game together, and we had a hell of a hangover the next day, I'll tell you.
That was our new season hangover, wasn't it?
That was a new season hangover, yeah. I mean, after that performance, you needed a few drinks as well. You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't. No, that wasn't in my script. So where's it gone wrong all of a sudden? Because we were a team that as I said before in the show, you would expect people to be running forward, goals coming, chances happening. Very few chances. Very few.
Few chances. We've lost a bit of creativity, whether that's because teams now understand how we're trying to play. We're a little bit... We've lost the dynamics down the right-hand side that we had with Wes Burns. Because Wes, not only did he score goals, he made quite a few goals. We didn't play Chappers last season, and Chappers was terrific last night, I thought, and looked like he was going to get a goal and nearly did on a couple of occasions. Chappers is about the only spontaneous player we've got there that can make something happen from nothing, and I think it's important that he plays as often as possible. Plus, when we're chasing a game, we will still only play one player up front. You got Hurst, you had Al Hamadi. You stuck Al Hamadi on, in the wide area last night when Hurst came on for the last 10 minutes. Desperate to get a goal. You don't want it to go to penalties, but there's that reluctance to go with two.
You
up
mentioned
front.
the Bromley game in the cup. We'll come to you in a moment, Russell, because you were there performing in front of Ed Sheeran. So we'll hear more about that in a moment or two. But certainly on social media, Ali Al Hamadi Butch has come in for so much stick. People saying she'd never pull on a blue shirt again. I mean, the flack that man is getting is unbelievable at the moment. But he's not done it, has he?
He's just taken over from Caden Jackson, hasn't he? It's as simple as that. and he's getting the same thing. But you have to feel sorry for him because it's, I think he's an honest player. I think he tries his hardest, but it's just not very good, unfortunately. I mean, the chance he had to finish the game in the final few seconds with the long ball into the box. I think it was Ashley Young put the ball in the box, and he's missed from a yard. He just put it into the side netting. I don't think maybe he thought he was going to collide with the post or something. I don't know. And then he goes and steps up and take a penalty. But having said that, the guy who got us a point on Friday with a good penalty misses the first penalty for Town. So it's not that just Al Hamadi missing goals. Smodic has had a few chances already in the 2 games, and he's missed the target a few times. A good save from the keeper. So, people say you don't get into your stride. Which brings me on to the point. Well, they should be in their stride. They should be raring to go, and they should be clued up in exactly what they have to do, and they should be fit, and they should be hungry, and they should be all these kind of things. But we don't seem to be like that. We seem to be a little bit lethargic. We're very vulnerable at the back from set pieces, very vulnerable at the back in general play. Attacking, we get caught on the modern word now, a transition very easily. And it's just getting used to new players in positions. We've lost the core in a way. You've got Burns, who played obviously in League One. You've got Morsey as well, the captain. We like him or loathe him or hate him. He's still a driving force, the captain of the club in the middle of the park. We haven't got a leader in the middle of the park at the moment. We've got a new player coming in, and we've got Jack Taylor in there and other players as well. But and with 2 signings due to get fit, I don't know why we sign players that are not fit to play and go straight into the team. That's what happened in our day. Is what we all think. So then the season should start, and the window should finish, and then the season should start a week or 10 days afterwards. So
there's so much dealing to be done, isn't there?
This first month is chaos, absolute chaos. Now it's not going to be. We're not going to define our season in a month, but it doesn't half help if you know all the players and they're fit and they're ready to go like it was before, after League One, then in the Championship. We really hit the ground running.
Al Hamadi last night, I think he ran his socks off in the first half, trying to get in behind, didn't really get anything played into feet. So he worked very hard for the first 45 minutes, and halfway through the second half he gets stuck out on the wing and he hadn't got any legs left. His tank was completely empty. So he couldn't run the full back, he couldn't get in behind anymore. He was still trying, but he was blowing out of his backside. And then the chance comes.
Term, is that?
Yeah, very technical term. All the physios know what I mean. So when the opportunity did come, he got there. Fair play to him, he got there, and I think he just relaxed at the last second, and that was it. His body just more or less collapsed as he tried to put the ball in the back of the net.
Tommy, when these players, and it was a strong side last night, but some of the players there, they should be trying to stake a claim for a first-team place, shouldn't they? Any opportunity that you get, surely, if you want to be in the first team, you want to be motoring, you want to be showing off, it's on television, you want to be doing your best, and I'm sure they were doing their best, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, absolutely. And in general, I think the dynamic this season there's an expectation now to go straight back up. And I think probably that's going to take an adjustment because the 2 promotion, obviously getting promoted from League One, probably weren't favourites again to go straight up. So we're a bit of a surprise package to do that. Premier League, not many expectations when you're in there. So now that dynamic's changed where they're expected to perform, expected to get results.
And some people are saying it's the best Championship team assembled ever.
Exactly. So this all builds pressure onto the squad.
Not me, but some are.
But this adds pressure, and it's how the players now have to flip their mindset, because they probably thought they had a bit of a freebie last season, knowing how tough it was going to be. Now they have to switch that mindset into we are the favourites, and how do they approach games with that mentality now? So that's going to take a little bit of time.
But that mindset from last year, you don't want the mindset of defending poorly, not being aggressive enough at the back, in particular, of losing matches. That there seems to be a sort of bit of a remnant of that now at the moment. So they've got to get rid of that, and they've got to just say, right, we're going to be targets. We have to accept it and embrace the fact that we have got a big target on us, and we've got to deal with that. It's completely different to what it was before. You're exactly right. So now they've got to just readjust, and they've got to readjust in the right way. And it's not about pretty football. It's about winning games and scoring goals. How many goals did we get in the Championship winning season. You know, a lot of goals. Are we going to do the same this year?
It's about
That's
keeping
what it
clean
needs.
sheets as well.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, for the last 2 seasons, we've conceded 2 goals a game.
And you say, like, winning games develops a habit, but losing games can become a habit as well. So we've got to eradicate that and get back. And it might all just take that first win to be ticked off, and then you can get up and running. But until that's done,
we've got a first point though, Tom, haven't we?
And an away point in the league is
an away
never a
point.
bad start.
No.
And that's a tough place because
Yeah.
they have a free season, a free hit, like you said. What we did in the Premier League. They've clawed their way back, spent a lot of
Point
money.
away on the road at Birmingham, we'd have settled for that. It was the manner of the performance, really, wasn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, it's all about the manner of the performance, because it helps you win, it helps you lose.
Well, there were a couple of interesting things happened in the cup game this week. First of all, we had to have the half-time team talk and loo break in the coach because apparently the facilities weren't working there, so the dressing room was not available, so the players had to go into the coach at half-time and have a wee and have a team talk. Has that ever happened to you, Tommy? That?
That's the first I've heard of that as well. I had my own game last night, so I didn't actually see the game last night.
Okay.
So, but that's
How do
a
you
new
go
one
on,
for
Tom?
me. We won 2-0.
Oh, well done.
Excellent.
mate.
Well done. What we need is a team of Tommy Smiths, isn't it, really?
So your half-time team talk was in the dressing rooms properly.
Yeah, but it probably wasn't much different to the coach in terms of facilities.
Clean sheet though.
No, 2 clean sheets now from 2 games.
Excellent, excellent. And the other exciting thing, everybody, was we all know how wonderful Ed Sheeran is, don't we? And here he is, the cardboard cutout. One day we hope he'll be here for real.
Following me everywhere.
But he's following you everywhere. So, but what you may or may not know is that Russell Osman performed last night in front of Ed Sheeran.
I did, Mark, yeah. Yeah, I was invited to the Bromley game by their chairman. Lovely fellow, Robin Stanton-Gleaves. And they invited me down and said, would I be prepared to have a little pre-match chat, so about 10-15 minutes before the game, and just entertain the people in the restaurant there for a few minutes. So when he went up to introduce me, I'm sat on a stool alongside him, and he said, Russell Osman, legend Ipswich Town Football Club, would just like everybody just to say a big welcome to Russell. And in walks Ed. Killed my moment completely, so. But I think I've sealed a contract to be his support act for his next tour. So, but all the hierarchy were on the table in the far corner, and Ed went to join them, and there's Mark Ashton, obviously, and Luke, Tom Ball, all the guys were there. So I just had to remind them how good we were under the Bobby Robson years, and winning the FA Cup and the UEFA Cup, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it was good.
Well, that's something to put in your CV, isn't it?
Yeah, then we spoke a little bit about Escape to Victory and stuff like that, so we had a bit of a giggle. Kevin O'Callaghan came along as well. Broke his arm in the film, didn't he? So, still not repaired it.
He didn't really break his arm, did he? But
No, he didn't really. No, not really. Terry. You would have done on many an occasion for him. But
make it real.
but it was a great evening, and they thoroughly deserved it at the end of the day. Their penalties were good, their performance was good, the pitch was terrific last night, so we can't moan about the pitch or anything. They played good football. Omar Swumney was their man of the match. Omar, big centre half, 6'5", 6'6". He was in my academy team in the under-18s when I did the academy. So it's nice to see him
at Colchester.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He's still doing a bit of modelling, and he's a good kid. 6'5", but still
centre half modelling.
He got the assist.
Yeah. The sign of the times is what happens. Yeah,
that's it. So it was good. It was good to catch up with him. So
I'm still waiting for my phone call for modelling.
Yeah. I used to model plaster casts when I broke my leg and all that sort of thing. Plasters, something like that.
Yeah.
Stitches. There we are.
Bandages normally, wasn't it? Yeah. Bandages.
So the scenario was I think it was a leakage in the toilets.
Yes.
In the changing room. So.
Was there really a leak in the toilets, do you think?
I think so. It's either that or Bromley, the new crazy gang.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly. It was just an unusual thing. That'll be a quiz question, won't it, in years to come?
Yeah.
Question of sport. It's time for you guys to decide who is the Ipswich Town Player of the Week. It's sponsored by the Dove in Ipswich. Russell, you've got a nice look on your face, like you really want this challenge. So we're going to start with you.
For which game?
Both. Because we've had 2 games, so you play over the week.
I'm going to go George Hurst because he scored at Birmingham, and Chappers for his performance last night when he very nearly scored on a few occasions.
Okay. Terry?
Yes, same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a chat before, so
Oh, right, okay.
it's called rehearsals, Mark. So it is. So we said what we were really stumped about the Birmingham game. Was it anybody else have a man of the match here? I don't think anybody.
I was just about to say that. I think
Ashley
for
Young.
the Birmingham game, obviously that's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
When he came on for his cameo, he looked really assured and
he was-
lifted the quality of the team, I thought.
He was
But
good. He was good last night as well.
Ben Johnson
he
played all
well.
right last night, didn't he?
Yeah, but I must say about the 2 younger players, Cameron Humphreys and Finn Barbrook in the middle of the park. I thought they were excellent. I thought they kept the ball moving really well, and they'll grow and they'll learn from that as well.
Yeah,
So-
they move the ball well. It's just you look for a little bit of creativity from them as well, don't you?
You do, yeah. But then it's getting the confidence then to do that, and then Barbrook in particular can go ahead and play.
To do it. Yeah.
But it is nice to see youngsters coming through, which we haven't had for
We haven't had for
apart
a while.
from
have we?
Luke Wolfenden in the back, who I thought he was Bromley's best player. But there we are.
Well, he had a season at loan on at Bromley.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he had an affinity with the club anyway.
So did Al Hamady, didn't he? Was he there as well?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps he's got feelings more for Bromley than for us. But
I
never
don't.
mind.
Quick word about Southampton, your old team, Russ.
Yep.
Sunday, Portman Road. Hopefully a big crowd.
Yep.
Hopefully there'll be
not
a
gonna be
few
there.
people there.
I'm on holiday. It's going to be a tough game, Mark. Simple as that. You know, they beat Wrexham, was it? So
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually. It's going to be a tricky one. Yeah, we are at home, but they're a very good side, new manager, and obviously I think it could go either way at the moment. I mean, we'll be going into that game without any confidence. We don't know what the lineup's going to be. Is he going to play the new boy up front, Akpom? I've no idea. So I don't know what sort of side he's going to put out. And I don't know what sort of side Southampton will put out either.
So you don't know really, do you?
I've got no idea.
No. Oh, right, okay. No, I've got no idea either, no.
Tommy.
Oh,
Any
no,
idea?
obviously 2 teams come down. It's going to be a bit of a litmus test for both teams to see where they're at again. Want to get off to a good start at home, so hopefully the past 2 results, they can use those as motivation to go on and get a home win.
But this
weekend.
is where we sort of really charged on in the Championship was to win the home games, and we haven't won many home games. Only one last year in the top flight. So at the end of the day, you want to have success at home more so than away. Away you're looking at a point possibly or whatever. But yeah, I mean the fans have been bereft of cheering a win at Portman Road. It'd be nice to get back to that. I think they'll bounce back. I hope they'll bounce back. I think they will do, because it's not so much they get in the morning from the press. I was looking at the forums and things like this, and there's quite a few fans that are not particularly happy. But then again, it's all about expectations, isn't it? You've got to win your home games. You've got to beat your rivals, and Southampton would be considered as one of our rivals to go up.
I must just say, I thought Kipre was good last night.
Yeah.
The centre half.
He
He's
looks
a big,
beast.
strong
He's a
boy.
beast, isn't he?
Wow.
Bloody hell.
Crikey.
Perhaps it was his fault in the toilet. I don't know.
You can't say that. mate.
Can I say that?
What did you just have?
Oh, just have. Because it's
Only someone your size could probably
you
say
get,
that.
You
yeah.
get nerves, Mark. You get big nerves, and that was his debut. And
He didn't look the nervous type to me.
well, he wouldn't be after what he did in the toilet, would he?
Shall we move on?
Moving on.
Let's move on. So look, at Ipswich Town we have a fantastic tradition of supporting the local food bank. Charlie is here to tell us about the collection on Sunday and what we need to take. It's good to see you, Charlie. Tell us about the initiative first of all, because it's been going for a few seasons now, hasn't it?
Yeah, how you going? Yeah, so I think to preface it, so some statistics that come out. So Ipswich is in the top 50 for the highest levels of child poverty in the country. 28%, that's gone up by 28% for child poverty in the last year. So who are we? So we're just a group of Ipswich fans. We're nothing special really, but we come together 3 seasons ago to raise money, raise awareness, and get the fan base talking about poverty hunger, and raise some money whilst we're doing it. But that's the point, really. Get people talking about it. Get people talking about why does this exist? This poverty, hunger, it doesn't come out of anywhere. People are making decisions, and it's impacting people's lives.
Yeah, you look at Suffolk and you see the snazzy beach huts at Southwold, don't you? And you don't think that there are pockets of deprivation. There are an awful lot of them. So what sort of things, do you want people to bring food, or is it cash donations that you're after?
Yeah, so from 10 a.m. on Sunday, we'll be in front of the fan zone, or we'll be in the fan zone, and we'll also be outside Planet Blue. Little table, you'll see us. We've got some new flags that we've bought, some big old banners, and we've got some nice bucket wrap, so we're a bit more obvious. We don't, we stand out a bit, hopefully, a bit more now. So any non-perishable foods. I know that sanitary products, we're coming into autumn, the colder weather, so warm clothes is always wanted, and baby formula is very expensive, always needed. And as well as that, we have buckets for cash, so any changes, much appreciated.
Brilliant. Well, keep up the good work, and I hope lots of town fans support you as well. Give them a big round of applause, everybody. It's brilliant. Thank you, Charlie. Now, we've had some fantastic programmes over the years, and last season was brilliant, wasn't it, with the Call Me Ted stuff? And this is one of the programme covers from last year, which was back in the Prem, Saturday, 17th of August, Portman Road Stadium versus Liverpool. So that was fantastic. And Mark's in the crowd somewhere. Where are you, Mark? Give us a wave. He's over there. And he's brought along a programme from the 1980s, Butch. And I just wanted to just have a look at this again. All right, I just want you to compare the programme covers from last season in the Premier League. There we go. Don't zoom in too much on my forehead. There's not enough hair. So that's what it looked like then. Let's take us back to the mid-1980s, Butch, and to compare that with what a programme cover looked like then.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that weed in there, Mark.
For those who are listening on podcast or on Suffolk Sound, it's Ipswich Town versus Oxford United. Thank you, Mark. It's Mark over there who brought it in, Butch, not me. Okay, so you can see him in the car park. Sponsored by 257 Radio Orwell, and it's a picture of you, Butch, in your greenhouse tending your tomatoes. Was it a good season?
Very good season.
For the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Excellent.
More so than for me. But I bought that. That was my birthday present to my wife, was a greenhouse. Yeah. I give her all the best things.
You know how to spoil Rita, don't you?
No, but we had some really nice tomatoes.
Stocking.
It was quite warm. It was quite warm there. So, they came on a treat.
But you used to, at that period, there were a lot of different poses that you had to do for various different things. There's one with the beat I remember I've got at home, he signed for me. And there's just a big suitcase of cash. And he's going like this with a big suitcase of cash, which is probably quite realistic, actually.
Yeah, very realistic.
Probably flogged some Pioneer stuff. But you can you remember any others that you featured on? I remember one, you had a wonderful Pringle jumper when they were trendy.
Mark. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, getting back to the greenhouse.
What else did he grow in there?
No, well, I can't remember. That was Rita's domain. It wasn't mine. That was a birthday present for her to get it sorted, and she did. But no, I was in there for filming for Question of Sport. Name the guest sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in there. Yeah.
Excellent. Can you remember any Russ that you were on? Unusual poses?
Unusual poses? No, not really, Mark. Not that I can remember. We had a group one where we were all sort of semi-naked, sort of sat behind the Pioneer music systems that they all got us, and we just come out of the shower, and they decked all these Pioneer decks up, didn't they? Yeah. Me, you, Mars, Brazil, I think. Yeah. Walkie didn't make it, it's too ugly.
Yeah.
What about you, Tommy? Were they more traditional when you were...
Yeah, I don't think we did poses.
Is it nice being
for
on the programme cover?
That's always nice, and you always try and grab a few extra.
No, it's not.
It is for Mum. It's for Mum.
Would rip you to shreds if you were on the front of the programme. She likes to look after them. Puts them in the scrapbooks.
Just got beaten in the air by somebody on the far post that scored the winner, and this in there.
Doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it doesn't. But every now and again it does come up, doesn't it? Might be an opponent's front page of their
I see what you're
magazine.
saying.
And you think, oh my God, one mistake I made all season.
Well, we know where to come for any greenhouse advice, Terry. So thank you very much.
Oh, we haven't got the greenhouse now.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Would you like Rita to buy you one now?
Certainly not.
Okay.
Haven't got
Tommy,
time for that.
Let's talk about you, your Ipswich Town career. You're one of our own, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what age did you arrive at town?
Well, first came on trial at 14 years old. I came for a 6-week trial from New Zealand, travelled over on my own all that way as a 14-year-old. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and the club offered me a scholarship sort of there and then after that first trial. Kept coming back every school holidays until I started my scholarship at 16.
Did you know where Ipswich was? So many of these players who came from other parts of the country back in the day used to say, well, we never knew where Ipswich was.
No, I did, yeah. They were obviously been in the Premier League, so obviously knew of them from that, and was an avid Football Manager player, so obviously knew all the players from that. And yeah, it was exciting for me. Always been my goal to become a professional footballer, and for Ipswich Town to provide that opportunity for me is something that I'll forever be grateful for.
What was your debut?
Debut for Ipswich was at home to Preston in the 2008-2009 season.
And how did that game go?
We lost 2-1.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's hope that's not an omen for the next couple of weeks' time when we play Preston North End again. So who brought you? Who was the manager at the time?
Initially, when I came on trial, it was Joe Royal. But when I signed my scholarship, it was Jim Magilton's first year in charge. I believe. I might be wrong there. I think it was in 2006. Does that sound about right when he took over? Yeah. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great group of lads in my youth team. I had Ed Upson, obviously, who famously scored the Youth Cup winner. Jordan Rhodes, Curtly Williams, like a real good group that I'm still friends with now. Jay Reason, could go on. Real good group, real good coaches, and obviously gave me the platform that I needed to develop and grow as a player and a person.
And who were you looking up to when you were joining the first team?
Obviously, you look at the players that play in your position. So at that time, it was Jason DeVos and Bam Bam, Richard Naylor, and obviously they were absolute mammoth people. You know, I mean, they were massive, and I was a skinny little teenager, and I was like, I'm never going to look like them. How am I going to make it as a centre back? And but they were great with me. Scary as well. Jason DeVos, blimey. I remember he sat down. He got us into a room, sat us down, and just berated us all for the cleanliness or lack of everyone's boots. And yeah, we got told, that's for sure. And then I'm pretty sure they'd been spotless for the rest of the season. And I actually bumped into Jason in June. We had international fixtures in Toronto, and he came down to the hotel and had a good catch up with him, which was great after all these years. So again, it shows what Ipswich Town is as a club. You know, after all that time, to come together and still have a rapport, and yeah, great role models for me.
And who was the best to go out drinking with?
Well, the stories probably speak for themselves, but at that time it was probably around the Gavin Williams, Gary Roberts, Simon Walton era, so they were obviously notorious in the region.
Any stories you want to share, Tommy?
No, I was never going out. I was an ultimate professional. What are you on about?
So were you a left-footed, left-sided centre back all the time, or did you play left back or midfield or any goalkeeper or anything like that?
Started off as a left back. Before I emigrated to New Zealand, I was at Crewe Alexandra in their sort of set up as an under-9, and I was a left back then. When I moved to New Zealand, I was a sort of a box-to-box midfielder, really. Hit a growth spurt, got put to the back, and the sort of never looked back since there. But I was one of those. I've always enjoyed defending, enjoyed getting stuck in, enjoyed heading the ball. So obviously I think that was probably the right position for me anyway.
And leaving town must have been a big wrench. You were there, 11 years?
Yeah, 11 and a half years. I think I left 7 months before I was due a testimonial, which is a shame, but...
Join the club.
Join the club. Honestly, yeah, I remember the day, we were just talking about it there. The day I left the club, I was in turmoil emotionally, and and it was a really big. I've been there my whole professional career, so to leave was tough, but it was also necessary for my personal career.
I think we spoke to you on Life's a Pitch on the day you were there for the last time, waving goodbye to the fans on the match day.
Yeah, well, that was, it already all happened by then. I'd already been done my last day at the training ground, and I was waiting for the visa to obviously move to America. So I'd got my emotions in check by then. But that last day at the training ground, it went by in a blur. So many tears shed. Obviously, I have a great affinity with the club, still do. So it was tough. It was a tough decision to move on, but it was the right one for my career at the time.
But you were lucky that you were able to do that, say goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I never
just
had that at every club I was at. Did you, Ross? No. It was normally a black bin liner with full of your boots and kit and all that sort of thing, and that was it.
Yeah, and boots will follow.
Boots will follow, yeah. You're very lucky if you can be able to do that. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good. But your middle name's Jefferson.
It is.
Why?
You'll have to ask my mum and dad. No, obviously they'd call me Thomas, and then Thomas Jefferson was one of the old US presidents, and I think that's sort of the link. There's no real link to America.
There is a little link because there's Derek Jefferson and Chopper, who used to play for Ipswich.
Ah, okay, I never knew
didn't
that.
Quite think you'd be named after him, but
Right.
he's not a president anyway. That's for sure. No.
Yeah, Chopper by name, Chopper by nature, wasn't he?
Yeah, brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Enjoyable.
International football, of course. Let's touch on that. New Zealand, Olympics, World Cup. A World Cup coming up in the USA, Canada.
Yeah. So
Are you hopeful?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still in the all white setup at the moment, and it's been an amazing journey for me from making my debut in 2010, just a few months before the World Cup, in front of 100,000 people at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena over in America. That was a great experience. The World Cup itself, so it's given me so many amazing memories, and hopefully there's a few more still to come. But obviously, I'm also realistic in the fact that I'm 35 now. I'm probably more in there as the sort of leader and off the pitch role, but equally ready to sort of pull on the boots as and when I'm required there. So I still want to be playing at the highest level I can, and to contribute as much as I can.
You also played in the 2012 Olympics.
I did.
As well?
Yeah. Another fantastic experience, and
were you in the athletes' village?
For a couple of days, because the football games were all spread around the country, but we had a couple of days in there, and that's brilliant. Yeah. I don't know if anyone's been inside the athletes' village before at any time, but everything's free.
There's no free free beer? You have free beer in there?
They probably did. Obviously, we weren't
that's the
really
place.
entertaining it. But
That's
there's
the place to be.
McDonald's in there that's just free
is
to
it?
rock up and have a McDonald's anytime you want. We had two of our staff members did a Big Mac challenge where whoever ate the most Big Macs won, and then they were both ended up in a really bad way. They might have been them at Bromley.
That's good. Yeah, it might have been them at Bromley. Yeah, it was great preparation though for the Olympics, wasn't it? Yeah, for McDonald's.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Braintree, you're relishing the season ahead?
Yeah. I had another year on my contract at Auckland FC, and after last season we won the league, and it was a brilliant experience again. But from a family perspective, it wasn't ideal. You know, every away trip, because we're a New Zealand-based side and in the Australian League, we're going on 4-day away trips, and I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old at home with my wife. So made the family decision that probably wasn't the best thing for us at the moment, and moved back to Suffolk into our house in Ipswich. So and obviously know Alan Judge very well from my time at Colchester, and he's down at Braintree, so he sort of spoke to the manager about whether there'd be any interest, and he was straight on the phone and sort of made it happen. And it's been good. It's a great group of lads. They all willing and want to improve and move up the ladder. So hopefully I can sort of lend my experience and know-how in helping a few of those players develop and get the moves that they want for their careers, whilst hopefully still having a successful season of my own individually.
Well, you moved to Colorado Rapids. Now I noticed something in your sort of Wikipedia. Well, I don't know if that's true or not.
Here we
But
go.
were you responsible for a mass brawl after the game? and you were eventually sent off for that brawl.
Yeah, but the short answer.
I love this. I love bits like this. God.
The short answer is yes, but if you watch the clips, I don't understand.
I couldn't get the clips.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Otherwise
what's
they'd be on
happened.
here.
It was, so there's a bit of a backstory too. It was against Minnesota United, and earlier in the season we'd beat them at home. I actually scored a last-minute winner against them at home, but there was a bit of needle. One of their lads got sent off for stamping on someone, so there was a bit of beef between the two teams. We go away, we're 1-0 up, we score a second goal in the 94th minute. Our striker peels away to celebrate towards where our fans are, and I my most direct route to him is through Minnesota's technical area. So I've gone tearing through there, like just fist bumping, nothing too outrageous. And their subs have just all lost their heads and calm and started pushing, shoving, grabbing me round the throat. I've kept nice and calm, but I got sent off for instigation or, I don't know, but not happy.
Instigation.
Yeah,
that's
instigating.
I've never been sent off for instigation.
Yeah.
Have you been sent off? No.
Well, they changed it 3 times. They said it was for foul and abusive language, foul and abusive gestures, and then to that. And I didn't do any of those things. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was one of the strangest red cards in my career.
How many did you get, red cards?
4, I think I've got. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
What were you?
3. I was very fair.
Russell?
I think 4 or 5.
Or 6, yeah.
Might have been 5.
We always have a leaderboard, don't we, for that?
But I'm disappointed with 3, I really am.
Surprised it wasn't more.
Should have been sent off for more, all of us.
Stay with us, Tommy, because we've got the golf challenge for you in a moment or two. But before that, it's time for this week's Ask the Legends.
Here we go.
And a big round of applause because it is 1-0 to Terry Butcher. Tony's here from Seckford Golf Club and is going to take us through this week's competition, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes. I think it's Terry's choice to choose either home or away, first of all.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to do what my good friend did last week. Away, please.
That's very brave.
Oh dear. Well, can I change it? Is that possible?
Okay, well, the good news is it's a golf question. So what I want to know for 2 points is who was the runner-up at the Open this year?
Who was the runner-up at the Open this year? Tommy, you can help or hinder if you think you know.
So Scheffler won. Yeah.
I know who won it, yeah.
All right, I'm only trying to help you,
won it
Tel.
instead of who was second. Okay, think amongst yourselves. You're just going to do a timer.
Going to have to push you for an answer, Butch. Going to have to push you for an answer.
Tommy could help you, maybe. Russell might even be able to help.
No, the only one I can think of about that is Tommy Fleetwood.
No.
Okay.
When I chose, I thought it'd be a good question. Who was the runner-up? It was Harris English.
Who is Harris English?
He was a runner-up in the British Open.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Irish English.
Okay. No,
So I don't get a chance then.
You get your
Home question,
Home question.
for 1 point.
for 1 point.
Thought I
Yeah.
might have had a go after he got his own.
Did you know the answer?
No.
The home
Just in
question
case.
was going to be, what is Tommy Smith's middle name? So, but that isn't really. That was just a joke. so the home question for you, Russell, is:
Yeah.
I need to know the attendance for the match at Birmingham, and you have 3 choices. Was it 27,508, 28,777, 777, yeah, and 29,232?
So choice of 3, Russ. This to draw 1-1 in our Ask the Legends Championship.
29,232.
27,508.
Oh. Terry Butcher still 1-0 up, everybody.
Thank you very much, Tony. And Forget Me Not is going very strong, isn't it?
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yeah,
one of our
Seckford-
chosen charities, Forget Me
Seckford
Not Golf.
Club. Yeah.
It is time for Tommy Smith now. It's time for our new game. It's Life's a Pitch and Putt, sponsored by Seckford Golf Club. Now, Tommy admitted earlier on when he came in that he is left-handed. Unfortunately, we only have a right-handed putter. Last week we did have a left-handed one here. So Tommy's going to have a go. You've got 6 balls, Tommy, and we've got the target. There are various holes there that you can have a go at trying to get the ball into. And at the moment, Walkie is on the top spot with 75. You got 1 ball in last week in the 75 hole. So you've got 6 balls. Tony will put them on the spot for you. You can take as long as you want. And I know this is difficult for you because you're left-handed. But we wish you all the very best. So here we are with shot number 1. In the hole! Oh! Close but no cigar.
Posts and out. Oh.
Shot number 2. Oh! You can feel the tension, can't you?
No pressure, Tom.
Go on, Tommy.
No pressure.
Shot number 3.
Oh, it came out again.
50. Just remember, Walkie didn't have any glasses last week.
In second place.
Oh!
No pressure.
2 more to go. 50 points. You've got to get better than 75, Tommy. 5th ball. Oh, no!
It's all down to the last spot.
And it's down to the last one. Get in the hole! Oh! Give a round of applause.
A good roll on it, Tom. He's rolling good.
Tommy, what we'll do is we'll put a little question mark next to it because you had the wrong club. So it does mean that you should come back another time.
I think you need to have a word with the greenskeeper as well, by the way. All sorts of bobbles down there.
If we could find him, we would.
50 points, well done. You're in second place on the leaderboard, so congratulations. Well done. It's time for On This Day in History now to find out what's happened with Ipswich Town on this day in the past.
Nice bit of music, that, Mark. Right, on this day in 2003, Wednesday the 13th of August, taken from Dan Botton's book, Dean Bowditch's first Town goal in extra time pipped Kidderminster Harriers 1-0 in the League Cup.
Did we win a League Cup game?
We did used to win a League Cup game.
That was the last one, apparently.
2003 as well, in the club's first professional meeting. Also on Saturday the 13th of August, this time in 2005, Joe Royal's Town fought hard to pick up a point in a goalless championship encounter at Leicester City. Richard Naylor's early miss from a Kevin Horlock cross spurred the Foxes to a constant bombardment as Welshman Lewis Price made numerous fine saves. Price was replaced due to injury by youngster Shane Supple, who lived up to his name with some agile stops. And that's it. That's all that happened on the 13th of August, yeah.
We were all on holiday on 13th of August, I think, weren't we?
Quite
I'll
possibly,
tell you what
yeah.
happened on the 14th of August.
Yeah, tell us what happened on the 14th of August.
14th of August, the new Portman Road stand was unveiled before goalless draw with Everton. The stand cost £180,000 with nearly 3,700 seats, raising the capacity to nearly 37,000 and trimming the pitch width by 6 feet.
Oh.
So there you go. 37,000. What are we getting now? 29 and a
30,
bit?
29. 29,000. Anyway, that was a fascinating fact. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time now for this week's Man v Fat results. Okay, another successful evening of football and weight loss at Inspire Suffolk, with our players losing another 10 kilograms as a group, says Man v Fat Mark. Jose Simos hit his 25% weight loss, and Simon Taylor hit his 5% after just his third weigh-in. This week's results: FC Barcelona 16. Thank you.
Bless you.
Juventus 7. Leighton Oreos 7. Portugal Fatsuma 4. Ozempiakos 8. RB Liposuction 2. Blubber Blues 4. Watford FC 9. Ipswich Town 2. The Pink Panthers 2. So those were the results and scores from the latest.
We haven't got a
Man v
team yet, have we?
Fat. We haven't picked one. No.
No.
Would you like one out of all of that?
Yeah. What does the fans think? What does the
fancy?
fans think?
Ipswich Town, just because that's the hardest one for me to say. That's all, isn't it? Really? Are we going to follow them? We're going to choose them?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody, yes. Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Ipswich Town
every week. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. We wish them all the very
with
best.
sausage rolls.
So, Tommy, you got a game at the weekend?
Yeah, we're Hartlepool away, so a nice close one. Anyone fancy coming?
Are you doing it on the day, or are you gonna?
No, we're travelling up the night before.
You
yeah.
driving?
Very good.
No, we're on the
Oh,
bus.
good, coach.
Yeah, we're on the coach. Yeah.
Proper.
Just the one coach,
Yeah.
because all teams now have 2 coaches or probably 3 coaches for the team that helps the team. If you see what I mean, all the staff. So Braintree not quite in that league yet, are they?
Oh, I think we're lucky to get one.
So what, a big card school or something like that? Or?
Yeah, so I've been told there's a few card players in the group. So I'll have a watch of that. I don't like jumping in straight away because you know what it's like.
Oh, so what's the cards? Is it hearts or?
I don't actually know.
I
know they just said there's a card school going on if you want to get involved. But
bring your money. Just
Yeah,
tell you
exactly,
bring your money and
exactly.
that's it. Yeah, watch it.
So yeah,
Who was it in your day that used to bet on when you get condensation on a window? And was it Gatesy that used to bet on which bit of condensation would get to the bottom first?
Right. It was either Gatesy, Alan Brazil, Paul Cooper. They all used to bet on things, didn't they? It was ridiculous.
Anything.
Yeah. No, but we weren't betting people. We had some friendly game of hearts or something like that with cards, but
A bit more cultured.
yeah.
Excellent.
So we didn't. We weren't into cards very much.
Prediction for Sunday, Butch?
Prediction?
Yep.
Be hot and sunny. I think it will be 2-1 Town.
Okay. Russell?
1 apiece.
Ooh.
Tommy?
2-0 Town.
2-0.
Oh.
You give
As I'm
me a
behind
funny look
Beatty's
there,
bar,
Tom, didn't you?
I'm going for a 3-1
3-1. Yeah.
home win. Tommy, it's been lovely to see you. We'll have to come back and use a proper club at some point. So you're welcome any time on the show. You've been a great servant of the club, and we're so glad that you're back home here in Suffolk and Ipswich. So good luck with everything at Braintree this season. Tommy Smith, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think we've probably got time, Dan, for one more song. Come on, Dan.
Number 1 is Tommy Smith. Number 2 is Tommy Smith. Number 3 is Tommy Smith. Number 4 is Tommy Smith. Number 5 is Tommy Smith. Number 6 is Tommy Smith. Number 7 is Tommy Smith. Number 8 is Tommy Smith. Number 9 is Tommy Smith. Number 10 is Tommy Smith. Number 11 is Tommy Smith. Number 12 is Tommy Smith.
It's a big squad. You'll live.
Team of Tommy Smith. A team of Tommy Smith. We all dream of a team of Tommy Smith. A team of Tommy Smith.
Tommy Smith, everybody. That's. Hopefully the Braintree fans will be watching this and they'll pick up and start singing that for you, okay? Fingers crossed. That's it for this week. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Russell. Thanks to Rich and John in the Sound 4 Pro Audio production suite and everybody who's worked on the show this week. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're listening on Suffolk Sound or podcast, great to have you along. We'll be back next week. And up the town, everybody! This has been a Life's a Pitch TV production. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, all about hearing. The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year: Cancer Support Suffolk, Forget Me Not Golf, and Come Back to Coffee.